Hello children, welcome back. In the previous video, you have learned how to declare and initialize an array, not a subscripted variable array. Okay. Now in this video, we will be covering on types of array. Basically children, there are two types of array. The one is single dimensional array, or it is also called single subscripted array. In single and subscripted array, we can see here it is a collection of same data types, either numeric or string, in the form of list. Okay, in single type we can see here only single is there. Okay, and then for example, an example is given to find the largest and smallest element in an array. For example, here you have taken the variable, okay, that is subscripted variable, and in this you can see different values have been stored. Now your thing is that your task is that you have to find the largest and smallest one. So you can see which is the largest one in this. 18 is the largest number, and which is the smallest. 14 is the smallest. Okay, so let's see how to do that program. For that you need two variables, a and b. Then large, one variable you need for tracing out the large and storing in that, and the other variable you need small and storing the smallest number in this. And finally you have to print the value of large and small. Okay, but before that you need the value. So for that you need to declare variable. This is x of 50, that is the size of this array is 50. Now you can see how easily you have declared the 50 size array in x only. Otherwise for 50 times you need to declare 50 variables, so that is going to be a very tedious task. So this is the way, at one statement only you can declare 50 elements for this array x. Okay, now get the values from the user. So what you have done is printf, enter the number of elements, scanf %d, okay, \n is for new line, and %a. Okay, that is how many variable, means what is the total size of array you are going to get it. Okay, next is b is equals to 0. B, where earlier you have seen we took I, so in place of I you can take any variable, okay, for loop. So b here just taken, so b is equals to 0, b is less than a, and b plus plus. Fine. Now scanf %d %x of b. So as the value of b will change, that is first it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3. Now size of the array was 50 declared, but user can have any number of elements. For example, user want to give only 5 numbers or 10 numbers. Okay, so that we have taken a. Okay, size we have declared to the maximum size, no matter if the user has entered 20 elements, no matter, let the remaining remain vacant. Okay, that is not a great problem. Now large is equals to x of 0, that is whatever is the first element of the array, that is going to be the value of large also. It is going to be assigned at large, and small is also assigned with the first element of the array. Now again we have to run the loop for checking which is the higher or smallest number. Clear? Now x of b, that is x of b, again you can see b has started from 0 and it will run till the value of b remains less than a, not equals to a. Okay, because I have told you that array size always works from n minus 1, that is the last index value will be always size minus 1, and b plus plus. Now x of b will be compared with large. Okay, and if x of b is less than large, it means that large is the largest number. So what will happen? Large will be equivalent to x of b. It will be x of b value will be assigned to large. Otherwise x of b is greater than small, then what will happen? Small will be holding the smallest number. So in this way, till the loop learned till last element of the array, large will have the largest number and small will have the smallest number. Okay, and finally after this loop, large you will have the largest number, and at small you will be having the smallest number. Okay, and finally when the loop terminates, whatever will be the value of large, you are going to bring along with the statement largest element is %d, that is the format specifier, and then your large value it will print. Same way printf smallest element, and it will print smallest. Okay, another form of array we have double dimensional array. Okay, which is also called matrix, matrix. Okay. Now in this what happens, we have all the subscript in the form of rows and columns. Like for a single dimensional array, we were giving only single size in one square bracket only. But in double, what we have to give? We have to give 2 square bracket, and the name of the array will remain same. The initialization will be same. Only you can see 2 square bracket has been used, one for rows, okay, and one for the size of the column. Clear? So this step, suppose you have given 2 and 2. The size of row is 2 and the column size is also 2. So how it will create in the memory of the system? You can see here the size will be 2, okay, 0, 1, 0, 1 in this way, okay. So this means like 3 into 3 is there, that means 3 into 3 matrix can hold up to 9 elements. How it will work? You can see here in the memory how it is created. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, that is size was 3, but since it's starting from 0, so it will be 1 less, that is still 2 only. 3 minus 1 is 2. Now each and every box has its reference. This one will be having 0, 0. Now you can see where this it intersecting. You have to match with the row number along with the column number. First box is matching with 0 row and 0th column. Second box is 0, 1. Then third one is, it is on same line you can see, and 0, 2. Similarly next one, here the value of row will be 1 and column is 0. Then again 1, it is residing in the same row, so it will be 1 only, and now column also become 1. Okay. Then we have 0, this 1, 2. Same way third one also. You can see same row again 0, then same row again next 1, and same row again. This way how we are going to refer along with the array name what you have given. So in this now your subscript value will have 2 square bracket, one for row and the other one is column. Now as I told you, you can see here STU marks is there 3, 3, so you can see the different address, okay, and declaration as I told you it was just like that only. Okay, now if you are using constant value, so you can see first set of elements, that is of row, will be declared in pair of braces 7, 3. You can see here this is the size. So the first one will be stored in this way, second one 4, 2, 6, then 3, 5, 8, okay, and this way. Clear? So this is the way each row has to be enclosed within pair of braces, and finally you have to close the main braces. Okay. Now for this row and column, since there are row as well as column also, so we need 2 for loop, that is nested loop. One is I for the outer loop and the j for the inner loop. Okay. And you can see here now this time we are giving not only z of I, we are giving z of I and j. So first value of I, if suppose it is 0 and j value is again 0. So first this inner loop will work till the value of j become 3. As soon as the value of j become 3, loop will terminate and it will go, and then it will change the value of I, that is 1. So this way it is going to store the value. Okay. Now you can see here, let's see some example, solve example. It is here written 10 numeric value you have to get into an array X and print their sum. So very easy it is. You can see here, this is the declaration line, then int I, sum is equals to 0, enter 10 numeric value. Now sum, the size is 10, so it will run from 0 to 9. So here it should not be equals to, okay, it should be less than 10. Then scanf %d, then you get the value, and side by side you do this solution, sum is equals to sum plus x of I. And finally when this loop will terminate, sum will have the total sum of the element, and after completing this loop, then only outside the body of the loop you will be writing print sum of the elements is %d sum. Okay. Same way we have odd and even number. for odd and even number, what is the logic? What is the logic for odd and even number? It is, again you get the value, again you run the loop. Now it should not be less than equal, so it should be only less than 10. Okay, and modulus 2 will return what? It will return remainder as 0. If the remainder is coming to 0, then even plus plus, that is the number is even. That is why 2 is completely dividing it and giving remainder as 0, else odd plus plus. So finally, when the loop will terminate, outside the loop you write total number of odd number is odd and total number of even is even number. Same way you can go through occurrence of a number. You get the value of the array and then you have to get the number also which you want to search. Okay, you can see here, enter the number to be searched, which is stored in M. So x of I is equals to M, then result plus plus. So it will just a result is acting as a counter. So whatever number of time M will be found in the element of array X, it will keep on counting that number, increasing the number, and whatever will be the result value, that will be the total occurrence of the number to be found. So finally you can print, after completing the loop, occurrence of %d in the array is %d. This is the format specifier, M comma result. Okay, a comma should be outside this inverted commas. Fine. Same way we have a read line. Read line means that a sentence is given. For example, the power. Now in this sentence you can see how many words are there, 2. So this way any line you accept from the user and count the total number of words. So how will you know where the word is finishing? By giving the blank space. Okay, so you just char ch, line is 100. Okay, you get the line from the user and then you have to check, that is while ch is not equals to uppercase this line of not null. Okay, null means that every string terminates by null character. Okay, like all, if you suppose a line is given, as soon as it enter line is complete, the last letter after that last letter line is null character. Okay, now it will check if ch is equals to blank space or tab, this is the horizontal tab, then result plus plus, it will count the total number of words. Okay, because each and every word is separated by a space only. Okay, then it is the name and 5 subject, student, and print their average mark. This is also simple as you were doing earlier. Sum, you just do the sum total, and whatever is the size of array, with that you are going to divide the for average for calculate average. Okay children, so this is the way. Now how to add 2 matrices. Matrices means that you have to declare 2 matrices. Okay, you can see here A is a 1 matrix, then the B is second matrix, and the sum total of each and every row and column is going to be stored in C matrix, third matrix. So first what you have to do, get the value for the first matrix, then get the value of the second matrix by using for ij loop, double nested loop you have to take, and then you have to just add A of I and j, B of ij, add them and store it in C of ij, and finally you have to print the C of ij value. So it will give you the sum total of both the matrix A and B. Okay, then we have transpose of the following matrix. Transpose means 3 2 3 4 1 2 5 7 1 is given. So in second matrix you have to change the rows into column. Okay, so how to convert that, just do that. You can see variable has been taken since the value was given, so it has been taken as a constant type of value. Then you run a loop. Okay, after this what is being done, x of ji, that is the column 1 is being transferred into A of ij rows. Okay, and this way finally you will print the values of third matrix. Okay, so this completes here children. In the next video I will be discussing with you sorting. Okay, so just practice this, how to create array. Okay, how to do various problems on array, and in next video we will be covering sorting. Thanks to you all.